Hello, welcome to Higher Ground Gaming. This is Eric. My co-host Mr. Brody is here, but off camera, and Miss Mags is right here on the desk. About to bring you another game from the 1967 Impossible Dream 50th anniversary. It's going to be a game from May 16th of 1967, and it's going to be a great pitching matchup of Ferguso Jenkins going for the Chicago Cubs and Juan Marichal going for the San Francisco Giants. The Giants come in with a record of 21-8, much better than their actual record of 14-15. And Chicago Cubs come in with a record of 9-18 in the replay, and they were actually 16-11 coming in. So both teams kind of doing the opposite of what they were in the actual season. But we'll see what happens here. Juan Marichal on the mound, comes into the mound, probably one of the best pitchers of the replay so far. Comes in with a 5-2 record, but with a 0.38. Yeah, that's right, 0.38 ERA. 70 2/3 innings pitched, only 39 hits allowed, 48 strikeouts, and 9 walks. So pitching even far and above his 14-10 ERA record with 2.76 ERA. So we'll see if he can continue that pace. So the lineup for the visiting Chicago Cubs is as follows. Paul Popovich, the shortstop, bats first. Glenn Becker is your second baseman, batting second. Billy Williams, the left fielder, bats third. Batting cleanup is the third baseman, Ron Santo. Ernie Banks, the first baseman, bats fifth. In right field, Lee Thomas bats sixth. Randy Hundley is behind the plate, batting seventh. Adolfo Phillips batting eighth and playing center field. And on the mound batting ninth is Ferguso Jenkins. So that's your lineup for the visiting Chicago Cubs. Definitely a powerful lineup there. So Popovich comes into the game hitting .273 with in 22 at-bats. He's just played 8 games. So getting a start today. These are the actual lineups from May 16th of 1967. So let's get this game underway. So Marichal looks in for the sign from Haller. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's going to be a 3-6. Possible hit by pitch. No. And it'll be a line out to short for out number 1. So that's how we'll start. Next up, Glenn Becker hitting .266 on the season with no homers and 7 runs batted in. .280 hitter of the actual season. So here's the pitch by Marichal. And it's going to be a possible error on the ground. And that's going to be a base hit. So a single pass linear at short. That's our first base runner of the game. Next up, Billy Williams comes into the game hitting .278. with 6 homers and 29 runs batted in. Hit the same average in the actual season and 28 home runs. So run on first and 1 down for Williams. Here's the pitch by Marichal. Avoids the strikeout there. And it's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. And that'll do it for the Cubs in the first. So it's the Cubs nothing, and the Giants coming to bat. So Ferguso Jenkins on the mound for the Cubs. He hasn't fared too well, at least as far as wins and losses go. He's 2-4, ERA of 3.18, which is slightly higher than his 2.80 ERA. Was a 20-game winner in 1967. He pitched 53 innings so far in the replay, 45 hits allowed, 8 walks, and 45 strikeouts. So the lineup for the hometown San Francisco Giants here at Candlestick Park is going to be Jesus Alou. He's the left fielder. Batting second is Tom Haller, the catcher. Batting third, the Hall of Famer Willie Mays, playing center field. Batting cleanup, James Hart, the third baseman. Norm Sebring, the first baseman, bats fifth. Ollie Brown is your right fielder, batting sixth. Hal Lanier, the shortstop, bats seventh. Batting eighth, Tito Fuentes, the second baseman. And on the mound, batting ninth, is the pitcher, Juan Marichal. So Lou comes in hitting .299, close to his .292 average for the season, with a homer and 7 runs batted in. And avoids the strikeout there. And that'll be a base hit for Lewis. So leadoff runner is on for the Giants here in the first against Jenkins. Haller comes into the game hitting .280 with 4 homers and 17 runs batted in. .251 hitter in the actual season. Runner on first and nobody out. And it's going to be a ballpark check right away at Candlestick Park. And that'll be a fly out to left for out number 1. Next up, Willie Mays, struggling on the season so far, hitting just .193 with 3 homers and 13 runs batted in. .263 hitter with 22 homers in the actual season. Here's the pitch by Jenkins. And he will strike out Mays. So Mays continues to struggle. So that'll bring up James Hart with a runner on first and 2 down. James Hart is hitting .288 with 3 homers and 15 runs batted in. Homered, I believe, in yesterday's game against the Cubs. So here's the pitch. And he'll fly out to center for out number 3. So that'll do it for the Giants in the first. So we head to the top of the second with no score. So even after a full inning of Juan Marichal, his ERA stays at that 1.38. I mean, that 0.38. It's hard to go up or down with that ERA, but especially to go down, as it's close to 0.00. But as close as you're going to see, pretty much. So Ron Santo will lead it off here in the second for the Cubs. Santos comes into the game struggling, hitting just .192 with 2 homers and 11 runs batted in. Part of the reason why the Cubs are 9-18. Hit .300 on the actual season with 31 homers. So the Cubs need to get him going. And that is going to be at Candlestick Park. And that will be a ground out to Lanier at short for out number 1. So that'll be up Ernie Banks, another one of the Cubs that's struggling. Hitting just .190 with 2 homers and 9 runs batted in. They'll need to get him going if they're going to win some games here. Hit 23 home runs with a .276 average on the actual season. Pitch by Marichal. They got their work cut out for them against Marichal, and he's going to strike out. For first strikeout of the day for Marichal. And the ERA did go down to 0.37. Only took 5 outs to go down. So Lee Thomas up now. Another one of the struggling Cubs, hitting just .076. Only hit .220 on the actual season, but .076 is less than half of that. Still looking for his first home run. Only hit 2 on the season, and has 1 RBI. And he'll strike out. So 2 strikeouts from Marichal in the inning. And after 1.5, no score. So it'll be Seaburn, Brown, and Lanier against Jenkins here in the second. Seaburn comes into the game hitting .208 with no homers and no runs batted in. And he'll strike out. This was a very low-scoring game in actuality. It was a 3-1 game. I won't let you know who won the game, but it was a very low scoring game. So I don't expect much in this one either. So 1 down now for Ollie Brown. Right fielder is hitting .283 with 4 homers and 16 runs batted in. You'll probably notice a lot of the Giants are hitting slightly above at least their season averages. Thus leading to their record, which is I think 4 or 5 games ahead of their pace. So hell of an air now. So he's hitting 290, hit only 213 on the actual season, with 9 runs batted in. And there's nobody on base, so just a foul ball. And a possible error on the throw here, if there is one. And possible error, so it'll be an error check on the second baseman. And no error on Beckert as he's able to make the play over the Banks. And that'll do it in the second inning for the San Francisco Giants.
Please remember to drink responsibly.
So we head to the third with goose eggs on the board. So Randy Hundley leading it off for the Cubs, hit 318 with a homer and 5 runs batted in so far in the season. 2-5. We got Candlestick Park, 5-2. Going to be a ground out to Fuentes for out number 1. Adolfo Phillips hitting just 205 on the season with 3 homers and 12 runs batted in. Again, hitting 63 points behind his season average and only 3 of his 17 home runs so far. And he'll draw a walk. So the first base runner for the Cubs today. Actually, the second base runner, as they turn 2 to stay within the correct amount. So, alright, so Ferguson Jenkins comes to the plate now. He's hitting .050 for the season with 1 RBI. See if he can continue the inning here. And he'll draw a walk. So that'll turn the lineup over as Popovich comes up with runners on first and second and 2 and 1 down. Good opportunity here for the Cubs to score. Gets Marichal. 3-3. And that'll be a strikeout. So a big strikeout from Marichal. So that'll be up to Beckert, who's hitting .273. Already has a hit on the day. It's going to be a range play at Candlestick Park. And it's going to be failed by Mays. And Willie Mays, who's aging, well, starting to age, is unable to get to that one. And that'll put the Cubs on the board first. So a rare run off Marichal. Lead runner advances. All cut off and the trailing runner is thrown out. So that will get out of the inning. But the Cubs get on the board with a run, a single run, and after 2.5 will lead it 1-0. So Jenkins now with the lead, takes the hill. Tito Fuentes coming up, hitting .198 with 3 homers and 8 runs batted in. And he'll strike out. 4 Ks on the day already for Jenkins. Brings up Marichal, hitting .185 with 3 runs batted in, has already matched his RBI total for the season. He's a hitting pitcher. See if he can help his own cause here. Hey, Miss Mags. Ooh. Nope. He does not hit any home runs. Hey, Miss Mags is just coming to say hi. Being a good girl. And she's on my left now. Say hi to the microphone. Yeah, say hi to all your fans, Miss Mags. So 2 down now for Alou. Alou is 1 for 1 with a single. And he'll ground out to short for out number 3. So after 3 full, it's the Cubs 1 and the Giants nothing. So Marichal's ERA skyrocketed up to 0.49 now. So he'll face Williams, Santo, and Banks, the heart of the Cubs order. 6-3. So getting a run off Marichal is a big thing. Especially this early in the game. 6-3. And he'll ground out the first for out number 1. So that'll be a Ron Santo, a 190 hitter on the season. He's 0 for 1 in the day. Ooh, and he's going to get a hold of one here. Unfortunately, it's going to be well, he had a 75% chance here. If it would have been a lefty pitcher, this definitely would have been out, but with that 19 roll right there on the D20, you need to get between 1 and 15, so just beyond the range. So Marichal blows a sigh of relief there, as that could have been much worse. And instead, he'll ground it to second for out number 2. Ernie Banks struck out his first time up. It's going to be a range play at Candlestick Park, so 4-3. And Hart will not be able to get to that one as it's going to go past him. That was a real tough play.
Let that ball get by him.
Nobody would get that one by that 6 roll there. So that'll be a single for Banks. And Cubs looking to add more here with a little 2-out rally. Brings up Lee Thomas, who also struck out his first time up. And he'll ground out to second, and that'll do it for the Cubs in the fourth. Already in the fourth. So it'll be Haller, Mays, and Hart up for the Giants, looking to get on the board. Howard's 0 for 1 in the day. And it's a possible error on a throw here. And that is going to be possible to do an error check on Beckert. And he will make the play. So 1 down now. Brings up brings up Mays, who struck out his first time up. Possible error on the ground here. And nope, once again the Cubs pass the error check here. Or the range check also. So he'll ground out the short, and that'll do it. So we'll head to 2 outs now. This is 2 outs now. So Hart up now, 0 for 1 in the day. And it'll be a strikeout for Hart, and now that'll do it. So after 4 full, it's 1-0 Cubs holding up. So Marichal will face Hundley to lead it off. Hundley's 0 for 1 on the day. There's the strikeout there. Flies out to left. First out of the 5th. Brings up at Phillips, who walked and scored the only run of the game. And this time they'll strike out. And that'll bring up Jenkins now, who drew a walk off Marichal in for his first time up. And this time they'll strike out. So halfway through, it's 1-0 Cubs. It'll be Seaburn, Brown, and Lanier up for the Giants here in the 5th inning. Seaburn was a strikeout victim his first time up. And it'll be past Beckert as he cannot get to it. And a leadoff runner is on for the Giants. So a tying run on first. Jenkins will keep a close eye on him. And he's back safely as he throws over. Possible error on a throw here, but that'll be a flyout, so no error check on that. So 1 down now. Lanier, 0 for 1. It's going to be his split check here for Lanier. It's a 20, so that means it'll be a flyout. So 2 down now. So it'll be up to Fuentes if the inning is to continue. And that'll be a fly out to center for out number 3.
Be sure to visit our concession stands.
Alright, so we're headed to the top of the 6th now. Marichal back on the mound. Top of the order, Popovich will lead it off. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Ooh, a home run possibility here, but when Popovich is not a home run hitter, so he passes the first check, but not the second. See, he will end up grounding out the 3rd for the first out of the 6th. Beckert up now. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI. The only RBI of the game. And that'll be a strikeout for Marichal, his 6th of the day. So he's pitching a fine ball game, but he's on the short end of a 1-0 game. Billy Williams up now, 0 for 2 on the day. And he'll fly out to Williams in left for out number 2. Oh, out number 3. So that'll do it for the Cubs as they hold on to their 1-0 lead. Marichal will lead it off. Home runs check passed, but unfortunately both times the hitters were not home run hitters. So 1 down now for Lou. 1 for 2 on the day. There are 6s on each roll. It's a fly out to center. We have Haller, who's 0 for 2 on the day. Giants have managed just 2 hits off Jenkins so far. First walk Jenkins has allowed, so a 2-out base runner. Brings up Willie Mays. Can this be the time he gets out of the slump? No, it will not, as it'll pop up to 3rd to retire the side. So we'll head to the 7th with the score still 1-0 Cubs. Marichal still pretty fresh, as you see a split of 11-7 there, so he can face quite a few more batters. 2-6 as Ron Santos steps into the box, 0 for 2 on the day. And he'll fly out to right for out number 1. It'll be a Bernie Banks, 1 for 2 on the day. Error check on a throw here, possibly. Nope. It's a fly out to left to a Lou for out number 2. Lee Tarvis, 0 for 2. And he will strike out, his 2nd strikeout against Marichal. Alrighty, bottom of the 7th now. It'll be Hart, Seaburn, and Brown up against Jenkins, who is also pretty fresh with a 10-9 left. He can face 10 more batters before getting tired. So both pitchers have good stamina. 4-2. Ooh, home run check though on Hart. Hart is somewhat of a home run hitter. However, it's going to be outside of his range. If that would have been a 1-5 there, then this would have been a definite, as he is a 20. But it's just be out of the range. So Jenkins does not allow that many home runs to right-handed batters. So thankfully for that for him. Instead it'll be a fly out to deep left. So 1 down now on the Giants 7th. Brings up Seaburn, 1 for 2. Will fly out to center. Ollie Brown up now, 0 for 2. That's a foul ball. Ooh, this is going to be a home run check, and it's going to be more than just a check, as it is in with the 6s within his range of 15, and Ollie Brown will hit his 5th home run of the season, and that will tie the game. Alright, so new ball game here, so the hometown fans are happy now. As Brown goes deep to tie the score. Hal Lanier now, hitting 284, 0 for 2 on the day though. And this will be a possible error on a throw here, 1-5, and it will be a check as it's going to be on the first baseman Banks. And nope, no error there. So that'll do it for the Giants in the 7th, but they tie it on the home run by Brown. So it'll be Hundley, Phillips, and Jenkins bottom of the order. Be interesting to see if they stick with Jenkins here. He's definitely fresh enough. 6-3. It's going to be a ground out to Fuentes at second for out number 1. Brings up Phillips. He is 0 for 1 in the day with a walk and a run scored. Possible error check on a throw here. And this time, Seaburn does commit the error. And that will allow Phillips to reach with a 1 out. And 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Jenkins up now. Let's see what they're going to do with Jenkins here. I think we're probably going to have Jenkins. Not much of a hitter here. We're going to have him. We'll have him sacrifice here, as we do want to keep him in the game. He is pitching well still. So it's going to be a sacrifice by Jenkins. And that will be a successful bunt. That'll move Phillips over to second with 2 down. The top of the order, Popovich 0 for 3 with a strikeout. I'm going to check the old bench here. Let's see who we have for a backup for Popovich at short. Kissinger is a better defensive guy either, too, so maybe we'll bring in a pinch hitter. We're going to bring in Clarence Jones to pinch hit here. And we'll bring in Kissinger to play. Clarence Jones is actually a pinch hitter in the actual game. Off to a good start. Only 17 at-bats, but is hitting .353 in those 17 at-bats with a couple runs batted in. Trying to get the go-ahead run across here. And do we want him to steal? No, he's already in scoring position, so we're not going to have him steal there. No sense in that. If he were a 20 stolen base, then maybe, but he is not. So 3-5. Instead, it'll be a strikeout. So Jones is the pinch hitter, cannot deliver. And we've got to bring Kissinger in to play short. He's a better defensive. Yeah. Okay. Why did that not put his position there? Hopefully this will not crash. There we go. Alright, so Kissinger is in to play short now. Definitely a much better range. So, than Popovich. So, a win-win situation there for the Giants. Sorry, for the Cubs. So, Jenkins back out on the hill for another inning. Score tied at 1 here in the bottom of the 8th. It'll be Fuentes, Marichal, and Alou. And that'll be a strikeout. And we are going to leave Marichal. He's a decent hitter. Leave him in 0 for 2 on the day, but 2-6. He's pitching a whale of a game. And that will be a ground out to short. Ground number 2. So 2 outs, nobody on for Alou. And he'll fly out to center. And that'll do it.
Remember to get your copy of the souvenir program.
So after 8 full, it's 1-1 score. Marichal back on the hill. Each team with only 3 hits on the day. Giants committing the only error. 3-5. And that'll be a single for Becker. So leadoff runner is on for the Cubs here in the top of the 9th. Go ahead run. And that'll be a strikeout for Marichal. So 1 down. Perhaps we should have bunted with Haller, but that's okay. I think we'll be alright. So Willie Mays up now. And that'll be a ground out, and they'll get the lead runner.
Everybody clap your hands.
So fielder's choice. Santo on first for Ernie Banks. Santo not much of a runner here, but... And that's going to be a walk.
Walks, and that one's toast.
Who's up now? Lee Thomas, 0 for 3. Bring in Al Spangler, who's also a better hitter. We're going to bring in Al Spangler to pinch hit Thomas. And let's see, do we want to bring in another guy for Ron Santo? Ron Santo is excellent third baseman, so I don't think so. These guys are horrible. So now we don't really have anybody to bring in defensively for him, so we'll leave him in. So action going in the Giant bullpen. Marichal is starting to show some tiring here. And it's going to be a ground out to first, and that'll do it. So the Cubs threatened, but cannot push the run across. So it'll bring up Haller, Mays, and Hart. Jenkins back out there on the mound. That was 0 for 2 with a walk. He'll strike out. First out in the bottom of the 9th. Willie Mays 0 for 3 with a strikeout. This will be a good opportunity for him to bust out of it here. He cannot. He grounds out the 3rd. So 2 down now in the Giant 9th. Brings up James Hart. Came close to putting a run on the board for the Giants, but was denied. 1 through 2. And that's going to be it for Jenkins. I mean, for Marichal, actually. So let's see who we're going to bring in here. I think both pitchers in the game actually pitched a complete game. No, they didn't actually. Marichal did, but Jenkins did not. So I guess we could bring in McDaniel. We'll go with the computer choice there. So Marichal will have a no decision in this game, despite allowing only 1 run in 9 innings. 1 run in 9 innings. And that would be a successful range play by Haller.
Boy, he had to cover a lot of ground to make that grab.
So 1 out in the top of the 10th, as we're in extra innings now. Adolfo Phillips. He'll strike out. Jenkins might still have another inning left in him. Yeah, he does. He's got the 7 there, so we're going to let Jenkins bat for himself here as nobody is on base. If somebody is on base, I'd probably pinch hit for him, but... So we head to the bottom of the 10th. be Seabird, Brown, and Lanier for the Giants. Seabird's 1 for 3 with a strikeout. And that's 8th strikeout for Jenkins. So I bring up Ollie Brown, 1 for 3. Responsible for the only Giant run with a homer. And this time he'll ground out to second. So I'm going to bring up Lanier. Hitless on the day. And continues hitless. He's rounds out to third. So ahead to the top of the 11th. Daniel back on the hill for the Giants. Kessinger gets his first at bat of the day. He came on for Popovich to pinch run. It was the pinch run, yeah. No, actually, he just came in as... Yeah, he did. He came in as a defensive replacement after Popovich was pinch hit for. That's it. 5-6. And Seaburn's able to get to that one. One out in the top of the 11th for Becker. And he'll fly out to right for out number 2. Williams 0 for 4 on the day with a strikeout. And he'll ground out. So that'll go to the bottom of the 11th. Jenkins back on for at least one more inning. Fuente's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Nope, outside the home run range there. Fly out to left for out number 1. And we'll definitely get a pinch hit for McDaniel there. Giants did not use any pinch hitters in the actual game, so let's see what the computer says. Bill Schroeder. 230. He's alright. Not bad compared to some of these other guys. Let's see, let's check out that. Yeah, maybe we'll bring in Willie McCovey. I want Willie McCovey pinch hit. Why not, huh? So Jenkins back out there for another inning. Willie McCovey comes in with a 291 average. 5 homers and 20 runs batted in. Getting the day off today. And he'll fly out to center for out number 1. So that brings up Alou. 1 for 4 on the day. And nope, that's not going to hit the home run. And he'll ground out the third. And that'll do it. Oh. Hold on there. Alright, so I think we're going to bring in Frank Lindsay to pitch for the Giants here. In the top of the 12th. Lindsay comes on with a 1-0 record, 3 saves, 15 in the 3rd innings pitched, 10 hits allowed. 5 walks and 9 strikeouts up against Ron Santo here in the Cubs in the 12th inning. Score tied at 1. And that'll be a strikeout as Santos strikes out. Next up, Ernie Banks, 1 for 3 with a walk. And he strikes out. So back-to-back strikeouts for the Giant closer. Brings up Spangler, 0 for 1. Came on the pinch hit earlier. And Lindsay will come in and strike out the side against the Cubs. So Ferguson Jenkins here for pitching the bottom of the 12th. Pitching 12 complete innings. We're going to let him pitch here. Oh, Giants looking for some motivation after those strikeouts. And Haller's up now. He's 0 for 3 of the day with a walk. And he'll ground out the first for out number 1. Willie Mays, hitless on the day with a strikeout. Starting to show his age in this game. And he strikes out. So Jenkins now has 9 Ks on the day. Brings up James Hart, 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Avoids the strikeout there. And Jenkins pitches a 1-2-3-12. So Jenkins has pitched 12 complete innings with only allowing 1 run. So it'll be Hundley, Phillips, and Jenkins. They'll probably pinch hit for Jenkins here in the 12th. We'll see.
He rocks one to right center field. That'll shoot the gap and go to the wall, and one hops the wall.
So that'll be a leadoff double for the Cubs here in the top of the 13th. So a good start here. Brings up Phillips, 198. 0 for 3 of the day. 6-1 to be a range play. And Willie Mays, who normally would have get to this play, is unable to get to it. And that's going to bring home the go-ahead run here in the top of the 13th as Hundley scores. So an RBI single by Phillips puts the Cubs ahead. And he's going to try to steal. He's off with a pitch. Haller with the throw. And he's in there with a stolen base. So another runner in scoring position. And Jenkins will be... We're going to let him hit here. Nobody out still. Actually, we're going to have him bunt. Is what we're going to do. And that will get the runner over. Brings up Kessinger. We're going to redo that one right there, as they probably would have brought the infield in. So we're going to bring the infield in. Alright, let's go bring the infield in. There we go. Same thing, a grounder right there. So the infield in, he is not going to try to score, I wouldn't think. Now, with the infield in, it's only a 2 now, so he's not going to try to score. That makes sense there. To be fair to the Giants there. So Lindsay is out of gas now. I'm going to bring in Ron Herbal there. So Herbal in. Try to limit the damage. And that's going to do it, but the Cubs take the lead, 2-1. Action in the Cubs bullpen, but Jenkins is going to try to close it out here. Try to go the distance, all 13 innings. And Seaburn will strike out. Brings up Ollie Brown, who's responsible for the only Giant run. Holwood way back, and that, no, he will draw the walk. And that'll be a ground up to short, so the Giants are down in the last out here. Lanier, 0 for 4 on the day. Lanier will be pinch hit for. We're going to bring in Jack Hyatt. Jack Hyatt comes in the pinch hit. 275 hitter, although only 143 on the season. So the Giants down their last out. And he will fly out to right, and that's going to do it as the San Francisco Giants are defeated by the Chicago Cubs in 13 innings by a score of 2-1. Jenkins goes the distance. So a great pitcher's duel. And it was actually 3-1 Giants in this game. But the Cubs in this one prevail in 13. So Ferguson Jenkins, excellent game. Moves the record 3-4. I don't know why that says 11.10, because he actually pitched 13 scoreless innings. There were only 3 hits allowed, so an excellent performance performance by Jenkins, 1 run earned, 1 walk, and 10 strikeouts, and the only blemish was a home run by Ollie Brown, as he allowed only 3 hits on the day. Juan Marichal pitched an excellent game. Did not got a no decision. 9 innings pitched, 4 hits allowed, 1 run, 1 earned run. ERA spiked all the way up to .45. 3 walks and 9 strikeouts. Lindsey gets the loss, 1-1. Came in and struck out the side his first inning relief, but the second inning they got a run off of him. So his ERA is still .53, but he takes the loss, 1-1. And that'll do it on the game from here. May 16th of 1967 goes to the Cubs 2-1 and 13. Cubs improve to 10-18. The Giants fall to 21-9. So thank you for joining me. It's been Eric from Higher Ground Gaming. My co-host, Mr. Brody. Thanking you for joining us. And we will see you in the next 1967 Impossible Dream replay. So take care and God bless. Bye-bye.